In this video I will tell you over 40 random final facts that may or may not ever be useful to anyone. And if you think of more random facts while watching, leave them in a comment, it will help me on my quest to know every single thing there is to know about the finals. Let's do this! You can dematerialize both sides of a zipline and it will still be usable even though only the rope is left floating in the air. Training range dummies walk right through goo as if it didn't even exist. You can get stuck inside the Kyoto bell if you make it fall on top of you. So this is what they meant by being hard-stuck gold. On Kyoto, the tiles on these walls are all covered in very small the finals logo, and this is the case all around the map. If you start to climb on something during the end of match slow motion, you will have 4 arms. If you dematerialize a door, it cannot be interacted with anymore. When it comes to double doors, if you only dematerialize one of the doors, using the other one will move both. In Power Shift on Skyway Stadium, when the platform goes towards the construction site and destroys that exact building, it always makes this bridge fall in this exact spot, which allows you to get on the bridge, climb this wall and easily reach the rooftop and the platform. I literally asked one of the devs who works on the maps of the finals and he confirmed to me that this is not a planned feature, it's actually just a happy accident. If you place a Guardian turret inside a dematerialized object, it will get deleted when you rematerialize the object. You can prevent aliens from shooting down at the map by blocking the flying saucer's bottom part with goo, effectively blocking the shots from ever coming out. But at some points, with enough shots, the goo will break and they will be able to shoot down on the map again. If you throw a frag nade into fire, the frag nade will be set on fire, but it will not explode instantly or whatever. The Santa hat changes some of your combat voice lines. I don't know exactly to what extent, but here are some examples with grenade.
Unwrap this! A holiday gift!
It's possible for the game to show that you died to your own charge and slam and even to your own tracking dart. This is because if you trigger an explosive canister and it kills you, the game will display whatever was used to trigger it as the thing that killed you. So if I trigger this red canister with the tracking dart, it shows that I died to my own tracking dart. If you are on Kyoto and the weather is foggy, you can see water droplets falling from the foliage all around the map because the air is humid. As I showed in my video where I exposed 20 issues with the riot shield, throwing knives and arrows can get stuck in it and it can be very annoying. But we actually pushed the limits of this and learned you can stack a lot of them on the shield. Look how dumb that is, I literally cannot see anything on my left side anymore, and that's only with 2 people throwing stuff at my shield, so now imagine with 9 enemies doing that. I guess it could make a fun short. Some ziplines like this one on Kyoto will pull you towards them when you use them, but you can't actually attach if you are too far, so it just makes you jump a little bit. The design in this artwork on Horizon looks a lot like a pattern of Jinko leaves. A notable example of a similar design is the symbol of Tokyo, which is a simplified Jinko leaf. The Jinko is an incredible tree, and bonus fact, that's where my name obviously comes from. In the previous episode, I showed that the dart gun can't shoot through glass, but apparently the goo gun can. Jump pads can bounce on jump pads. Amazing. These lamps in the Las Vegas hotel turn on and off depending on how close you are to them. I don't know if it's more likely to be caused by a bug, an Easter egg or a ghost. Some spotlights can be picked up and they will actually cast light on the environment so you can move around with them. If you had never heard about this fact before, it means that you didn't watch Rockhands Black's video where he mentions it along with 68 other nice details. And now you are legally obligated to go watch that video within 1 business day. Magazines and props created by emotes don't bounce on jump pads. That's so unrealistic. SMH my head. The Power Shift platform is affected by goo canister's explosions and it will tilt when you explode one next to it, but it will not happen with goo grenades for some reason. The flying saucers from the Alien Invasion event can be seen in the post-game podium animation. And look, even aliens have lights that abandon them. A related fact is that when the game is over in Power Shift, but the platform has not reached the end, players can still move the platform, as you can see in this clip. Nobody is on the platform anymore and the match is over, but it's moving anyway. If you disable the HUD with F10 before the game ends, when you are supposed to see the scoreboard, you will instead be a floating camera in the last spot you were standing when the game ended. There will also be flying confetti, and if the orbital laser event is in progress, you will even trigger the lasers despite not even being there anymore. The training range has a timer and it will kick you out when the timer reaches 0. You will get an error message and then you will see the game summary from your last public match. If you use a controller and barely move your left stick, you will walk extremely slowly, but you are still walking and so you will not trigger orbital lasers. This might actually be extremely useful in some cases. Glitch canisters are the only arena carryables that deal no damage when thrown at an enemy player. You can place a jump pad on the ceiling of the Kyoto Tower, then use the one on the floor and you will be bounced up and down forever. We also tried placing goo right above the big pad and then placing a jump pad on the goo, and it made things even worse. Spray on statues are very bugged. Basically, the spray is stuck to the statue, but it can't be visible in the air, so if you place the object in the air it disappears, but if you place it close to a surface, the spray will be visible on the surface. By the same logic, if you spray something that's moving around, like this broken part of the bell, you can see the same thing happens. If you spray on a thin enough surface, the spray is visible from both sides of the wall. There is a staircase in Kyoto that is bugged and can't be walked on. You can climb on it and around it, but it's quite weird. You can move vaults with the spear right-click attack, and so you can make them bounce on jump pads. We did it while low gravity was active, and that sent the vault flying. It was also being opened and the coins jumped out while it was very high. It's like Bankit fireworks. Some of the props around the maps are destroyable by just touching them, most notably fabric banners or kakemonos on Kyoto. If you destroy what a zipline is attached to, the entire zipline breaks. But if you dematerialize the surface instead, the zipline becomes a physics object and simply falls down. This allows you to make ziplines that are flat on the floor or even bounce them on jump pads. I show this in this video, so go check it out later. The thing I just told you about is only true for player ziplines. If you do it with ziplines that are on the maps by default, they actually don't fall down and simply float in the air. That makes sense. In Kyoto, there are saddles that can actually be carried, and if you try to place them back, it will not work and they will just fly there. The Triumphant Display emote has 3 different animations and they are picked at random when you use it. This is why it's called Triumphant Display. On Kyoto, the floors in the pagodas squeak when you walk on them, and it's called Nightingale floors, which originated in feudal Kyoto. Some fishes can be found in the water spots around Kyoto, but you cannot kill them or scare them away or anything. If you destroy a mine with an arrow or throwing knife, it might get stuck on the mine even after it has exploded, and even after being used again and picked up, and it's kind of a weird bug. In Bankit, the coins are affected by physics but have weird properties. You cannot winch close them, they are not affected by jump pads, but if you throw a carryable at one, it will make it move a lot. You can even place some deployables on the coins for some reason. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a comment with your own random facts. This way I can make more episodes until we know every single thing there is to know about the finals. Thanks to Marshall for helping me record a lot of the clips in this video. Have a nice one and see you next time!